So the 75th Annual Fragrance Foundation Awards just took place last week, and I'm going to let you know all the winners in this video coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. Do you guys follow the Fragrance Foundation? I guess it's been happening for 75 years because the 75th Annual took place last week. And this is the 2024 edition. A lot of different winners, but a lot of designers. I'm surprised at the categories because they consider luxury as some of the most mass market fragrances that I'm, dealing with or have experienced with. A lot of L'Oreal brands here, some Coty, but a few winners some fragrances that won were my favorites that launched last year, and I'm going to let you know all about it. So it's 16 different winners I'm going to talk to you about. What I'm going to do is talk to you about the fragrances and smell it on camera, and then also let you know who was running against it and what it beat out. So let's get started with the first fragrance. It's the Fragrance of the Year Men's Luxury, and it went to Armani's ACQUA de Joe Parfum. Are you guys familiar with this one? So is this like a dupe or a copy of the Profumo? Because it does really act like it, but it's a little different, but not much. It's featuring marine notes, bergamot, rosemary, clary sage, geranium, olibanum, patchouli, under L'Oreal, created by Alberto Morillas, which is dsm-firmenich or firmenich. It used to be firmenich, now they've changed the name to dsm-firmenich, I believe. So let me know if you're a fan of this one, and did it deserve to win the Fragrance of the Year Men's Luxury? Do you consider this collection of fragrances luxury? Let me know. You know, I was always a fan of the Profumo in the ACQUA de Joe series, but they discontinued it, and I think they discontinued it to launch a Parfum version. Can you believe how many flankers there are of this? There's probably like 25. I mean, there's so many. And this thing keeps continuing, and Alberto Morillas keeps cranking out different variations on a fragrance that he started in 1996, I believe. It is marine, but it's more like a sea breeze rather than the fishy sea water. Lots of citruses here and aromatics galore of rosemary, clary sage, geranium, and it has an ambery, smoky, resinous dry down with the patchouli. It does really remind me of the Profumo. Slight differences. I quite like this one, and I love the Profumo as one of my favorite designer fragrances, but did it deserve to win? It was running against Creed Absolute Aventus, Gucci Guilty Pour Homme Elixir de Parfum, Kilian Paris Smoking Hot, Mind Games Vieri. So there's niche fragrances in this category, but it went to this, Armani ACQUA de Joe Parfum. Let me know what you think about this category and the winner. Let's move on to the next winner. It's a Burberry Goddess in the Eau de Parfum concentration. That's the first of the launches. I believe there's an Intense coming out for this. It's won the Fragrance of the Year Women's Luxury. The notes for this include a trio of vanillas with lavender. And stay tuned for a lavender video to air very, very soon. Coming up tomorrow. But this I actually enjoyed as a great feminine fragrance. In fact, it's not uber feminine because of the addition of the lavender in here. It's quite aromatic. This is created by Amandine Clerc-Marie, a Coty fragrance under dsm-firmenich. Once again, firmenich. And let's go ahead and quickly smell this one. I'm a fan of this one because it smells really, really great. I love vanilla and lavender. Together, it's very super cozy. I did a video on this one, and I also mentioned how the goddess name keeps coming up in fragrances. Why does that keep happening? A lot of goddesses out there in the perfume world. But there's a custardy quality about the vanilla in this. It's almost like a jello custard. You know how it bounces? When you wear this, you can, when you smell this, you experience that. And it's so delicious. There's caramelly touches in there. Maybe some slight almondy touches. And then, of course, the spicy aromatic herbalness of the lavender in there. It smells fantastic. But did this deserve the win? What do you guys think? Let me tell you the different brands it was running against. So Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche, Yves Saint Laurent Libre Le Parfum, Coach Love, Dior J'adore L'Or, Maison Margiela Replica on a Date, Versace Dylan Purple. I don't know about any of these fragrances. I think the Maison Margiela replica on a date was pretty good, but I think the Burberry Goddess deserved it against the other fragrances. What do you guys think? Let me know. But the Fragrance of the Year Women's Luxury goes to Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum. Next up, Fragrance of the Year Men's Prestige goes to YSL Myself. What do you guys think of this win? This is created by Antoine Maisondieu, Daniela Andrier, and Christophe Raynaud. I took all the information from the Fragrance Foundation website, so I'm hoping this is 100% correct. All three of the perfumers are with Givaudan, and once again, this is a L'Oreal brand. What did you guys think about this one? I'm not the biggest fan of this one. It's a very mass-market male fragrance. They're coming out with a parfum version of it, I think. It's basically like Ambroxan style Ambrofix in here with an overdose of orange flower and the patchouli and bergamot in here. I think it's pleasant, a no-brainer kind of fragrance, but I wouldn't rush out to buy it, even though I did, and I did a video on that fragrance when it first launched. But that one is running against Cartier Pacha de Cartier Noir Absolu, Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir, which I think should have gotten the prize, Mont Blanc Explorer Platinum, Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. Was that the Parfum version? But I think this, I don't know about this, against Le Male Elixir. And I love Le Male Elixir. I think it was one of the best designer fragrances of last year. I didn't rank this anywhere near it. And I'm not sure how that wins against a really great, potent fragrance like Le Male Elixir, which is disappointing. I don't know who judges for these fragrances. I don't know how they do it. I've got to get more involved with the Fragrance Foundation to learn how they select their winners, but I don't think this deserved it. But if you think it deserved it, let me know. Put a comment down below. And let's move on to the next category. And this is a very polarizing fragrance. It was one of my favorite launches of last year. I don't think a lot of you liked it. It's Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. It's a winner. Fragrance of the Year, Universal Luxury. Notes include Vanilla Absolute, Tonka Bean Absolute, Sandalwood, Ultra Vanilla, Flowers, Vanilla Tincture, Bitter Almonds. It's part of the Estee Lauder companies. It's created by a Givaudan perfumer. Finally, I get to find out who it is. It's Nathalie Gracia-Cetto or Cetto. Tell me why you don't like this fragrance. Is it the price that you don't like about it? Or is it the actual fragrance? I felt like it was a really great release. It was very cozy. And it reminded me of nougat, almond nougat, that I find when I travel places like Spain where they specialize in this kind of yummy, vanillic, hard, soft kind of a nougat thing. The bitter almonds in here are very substantial, and the smell is there quite a bit. And I personally think this one deserves the win, but I haven't seen the list. I haven't seen the list of any of these. I've just printed them out and haven't really read them. So I'll find out for you guys right now and let you know what it was running against. But let's see. Fragrance of the Year, Universal Luxury, Cartier Les Heures Voyages, Diptyque Le Papier, Gucci The Alchemist's Garden Where My Heart Beats, Maison Francis Kurkdjian Aqua Media Cologne Forte, Victoria Beckham Sweet 302. I haven't been able to get my hands on Victoria Beckham fragrances, but the consensus on those fragrances were not very good. And I guess I haven't really sampled the Cartier that's in this category, and I also haven't kept up with the Gucci Alchemist's Garden. I haven't even tried Where My Heart Beats. It's nowhere to be found. Le Papier I felt was a little underwhelming, and the Cologne, Aqua Media Cologne, I felt like was good, but the Tom Ford definitely deserved it for me. What do you guys think in comparison to the other fragrances? Put a comment down below. Let's find out what everybody thinks about this category and the winner. Alright, the next fragrance is Hermès Un Jardin Cythère. This one right here, Fragrance of the Year, Universal Prestige. It features notes of olive wood, dry grass, pistachio. Now, this is something I wasn't aware of. Is Hermès under Shiseido? I wasn't aware of this. They list Hermès as a brand under Shiseido. Let me know if this is true. But the perfumer for this is, of course, Christine Nagel. I felt like this was a solid release. This collection is a bit light. It's the Garden collection. And this is inspired by a Greek island, I believe. And I like that they kind of went into a gourmand direction, whereas the rest of the collection doesn't go there. It's the olive wood is really interesting. You can really smell the unique characteristic of the smell of the olive wood. I've hung around olive trees quite a bit in my lifetime. Dry, it's got a dry quality, a bit wheat-like, and then of course the nuttiness of the pistachio. So it's a very unique fragrance, but I wouldn't consider it like, oh my god, the most amazing fragrance. So I'm not sure what this fragrance was running against, but I think it was quality, and I do enjoy Christine Nagel's creations. Let me know if you think this deserved to win. It was running against Boy Smells Vanilla Era. Is that what it is? Jo Malone English Pear and Sweet Pea Cologne, Lake and Sky 1111 Azure, Maison Margiela Replica Under the Stars. So I don't know a lot of these fragrances that it was running against. The only one I know is Maison Margiela Replica Under the Stars and Jo Malone English Pear and Sweet Pea Cologne. I think the Hermes did deserve the win if running against those fragrances. What do you guys think? I haven't smelled the Lake and Sky, and I haven't smelled the Boy Smells, sadly, because I don't have access to them. The next category is Indie Fragrance of the Year by Artiste L'Or de Louis. L'Or de Louis, this is the box for it. Are you guys familiar with this house? I have a few of the fragrances from this house. This is, I believe, the newest fragrance created by, his name is Rodrigo Flores Roux, and he's with Givaudan. He's a Givaudan perfumer. I believe he works in New York City, and he creates a lot of the fragrances for Artiste. This is a fragrance that has gold flakes floating around in it. L'Or, I think, refers to gold, right? So this features notes of orange blossom, French jasmine, pomegranate, bergamot, honey, Florentine orris, musk, cedar, firewood smoke, cadewood, Olette de Chypre is what it's calling as a note. A resinous accord dating from the 17th century. Very interesting to have something like this. I haven't seen a note like this come up. This information was taken from the Artiste website. Let me know if you're a fan of Artiste. I'm not seeing any gold flakes spritz on the strips, unfortunately. The strip. But this is a really gorgeous orange blossom with a white floral, combo with some slight fruitiness, and it does have a vintage styling to it. Is that vintage quality coming from the resinous accord dating to the 17th century? But definitely it has a vintage quality, which I quite like. If you like the idea of these kind of vintage fragrances with an overdose of orange blossom and white floral notes like French jasmine, definitely check this one out. It's really created nicely. It smells fantastic. It does settle down to a little more substantial presence, but it's quite white floral, and it's the overdose of the orange blossom and the jasmine which are pretty much running the show here. The honey also does make a statement here. It sweetens things up, and I do get honey touches from white floral notes to begin with, even the orange blossom. So the honey kind of amplifies the honey touches of those white floral notes. That's actually quite a good creation, so definitely deserve the win. Let me know what your thoughts are, but let's figure out what it was running against. So this fragrance, L'Or de Louis, Artiste Parfumer, or Artiste, was running against Caswell Massey 2571, Lila Nour Parfums Zafran Boisé. I like that fragrance. The Maker Lover, I'm not familiar with it. Matière Première Vanilla Powder. I just got really into it. I was not really a fan of that one on first tests. In fact, it took me a while to really embrace it. And then I don't know the Robert Piguet Parfums Rue de Cirque. So, did it deserve? I really like this L'Or de Louis, so I think right now I'm going to say it deserved the win. But I also really enjoyed Zafran Boisé from Lila Nour Parfums. Are you guys familiar with that brand? There's a video on the channel. Go catch that video. So two of my favorite fragrances won. One being Vanilla Sex, and now the second one, Guerlain's Tobacco Honey. In fact, Tobacco Honey was actually between the two, is my most favorite between the two, and I think it really deserved the win. This is an amazing fragrance. It won in the category Perfume Extraordinaire. This is it right here. So honey, oud, vanilla, tobacco, tonka, sandalwood, sesame, anise, cloves. Of course, it's an LVMH brand, and the perfumer is Delphine Jelk, because Delphine Jelk is working as a in-house perfumer for Guerlain. There is no firm attached to it like Givaudan or Firmenich. And I've noticed that there's no IFF perfumers that won, or IFF creations that won. But if you don't know this one, definitely check it out. It's pretty substantial. It's pretty potent. I like the way it's created. It's loud. It's sweet. It's powdery. The honey is there. The tobacco is also there. You know, cuts through the honey and creates for a bit of smokiness and ashiness. Really, really wonderful. The anise does come in as well. It enhances this unique characteristic in smell. And the cloves, warm spices. Really wonderful offering. I really, really love tobacco honey, and I think it definitely deserved the win. But let's see what it was running against, shall we? So the Perfume Extraordinaire category had the fragrances Tobacco Honey, which is the winner by Guerlain, Harlem Perfume Company Josephine, Maison du Roc, Mousse de Cuir, Mind Games Sissa, Tom Ford Vanilla Sex, Victoria Beckham Sweet 302. So I haven't tried Harlem Perfume Company, Maison du Roc, and Victoria Beckham. Of course, I've tried Mind Game Sissa. Not the biggest fan of that one. I don't hate it, though. And I love Tom Ford Vanilla Sex, but I think Guerlain's Tobacco Honey definitely deserved this win. And the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about and smell on camera is Mind Games French Defense. It's an extrait de parfum fragrance. The Mind Games company won for Packaging of the Year Luxury. So Packaging of the Year Luxury. And of course here is the bottle. This is a cherry fragrance, by the way. Created by Christelle Laprade, I think that's how you say it. And it's by the Fragrance Group. Let's go ahead and quickly smell this. Cherries, amber, blonde woods, cedar wood, violet leaves, chamomile, rose, geranium, mimosa. Honestly, this is not one of my favorite cherry fragrances. It's more dry and powdery and aromatic and woody. So the cherry doesn't really shine here as much as I would love it to. But it's not a bad fragrance. It's just not one of my wow fragrances for a cherry. I recently sampled a few other cherry fragrances. I might do an updated cherry video. But what do you guys think? Did this deserve the win for Packaging of the Year Luxury French Defense? Let me know. Put a comment down below so I can find out what you guys think. If I can get that box in there. There we go. Looks like there is no information on what French Defense was running against, so I couldn't print that out for you guys after going through my paperwork here. But that's the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about. Just want to also mention the other winners, which I don't have the fragrances here, and let me know what your thoughts are on these fragrances. So Valentino Born in Roma Donna Eau de Parfum Intense won Women's Luxury. And I'm not a fan of Valentino fragrances after switch over from Puig to L'Oreal. Are you guys fans? Are you guys familiar with Donna Eau de Parfum Intense? I don't know much about it, but it won the Women's Luxury categories. And then it's Byredo's Summer Rain for the category of Candle and Home Collection of the Year. Under Puig, Robert Tay perfumer Jerome Epinay. There's no notes or anything listed for that. And I'm not a candle person, so I'm not going to let you know more about that candle. But if you've sampled this candle, let me know. Put a comment down below. Then we've got another Valentino fragrance, this time for men. It's Born in Roma Uomo EDP Intense. Not a fan of this line whatsoever. If it's become better, let me know. This is in the Consumer's Choice Men's and Universal category. And it's lavender, vanilla, vetiver. It sounds like it would be good, but I've completely dismissed Valentino fragrances. But they are coming out with a private collection type series of fragrances, exclusive line. So I'm looking to check those out. Next, number 12. This is not a ranked list, by the way, or ranked categories. I'm just giving you the numbers. Nest New York Lychee Rose EDP Fragrance of the Year in the popular category. Not too familiar with Nest. Marc Jacobs Daisy EDT won Fragrance Hall of Fame. This is a long-standing fragrance dating back to the mid-2000s, I think 2007. Then we've got Carolina Herrera Good Girl Blush EDP. This went into the Consumer Choice Women's Prestige. Then Billie Eilish Fragrances Eilish No. 3 Consumer Choice Women's Popular. Finally, last but not least, Anna Sui. I haven't heard her name come up in ages. Sunday Pretty Pink EDT for Packaging of the Year, Prestige and Popular. So Mind Games French Defense won the other category, the luxury category, and then we've got Prestige and Popular for Anna Sui. So let me know your thoughts on these winners. What do you guys think? What do you think about the Fragrance Foundation Awards? I guess I would like to attend it one of these days and see what it's all about and learn a little bit more about how these categories are chosen and how the fragrances are chosen and how are they, you know, voted for and how do they win and all that good stuff. If you have any experience with this, let me know. Put a comment down below. And also do let me know what you think about the winners. Of course, I think both of these definitely deserve the wins. This is Tobacco, Honey, and Vanilla Sex. And also, this Arquiste is definitely really, really great if you like a white floral vintage style with a citrusy overdose of the, you know, orange blossom in there. But other than that, the rest of the fragrances, they're, you know, very mass market fragrances, which are not the kind of fragrances I wear. But let me know your thoughts on the winners. And thank you so much for watching today's video on the Fragrance Foundation's 75th Annual Awards. Let me know. Put a comment down below. And thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.